name is Spat. I am a special effects makeup artist and also a prop maker, prop master. I rent out prop weapons for movies, and all of these are prop guns, meaning that they don't do anything in real life. They can't shoot anything. I'm going to give you some examples. So this is a prop gun. It is completely 100% made out of plastic. You can't do anything if you pull the trigger. If there's ever an accident on set with this and an actor accidentally pulls the trigger, the worst thing that might happen is they might break the trigger. If you look at some of these other, this is a rubber prop gun. This has been beaten to hell because actors love to pull the triggers and break them. These are props. These are prop guns. The next ones we have, these are airsofts, but on movie sets we call them green gas guns. And the reason is we load them with a green gas, and then when you fire them, they simulate firing by coming back and forth with the gas. That's it. When you pop the magazine out, it doesn't do anything. No matter what you do to it, nothing can come out. If the magazine's in, they go off. If the worst thing that could happen is if somebody accidentally loaded BBs in, which these are jammed to make sure that no BBs can go in. But if someone did pop a BB in and somebody loaded it and pulled the trigger, the worst thing that would happen is a BB would come out, a pellet, and that could hurt somebody. Semi-dangerous, but not super dangerous. Next, this is a Blankfire gun. This weapon fires blanks. It uses 8mm blanks. There are some, different kinds of loads that you can use in it to make them bigger noise. These are really loud and a lot of smoke. And unfortunately, fortunately, the barrels are completely plugged. There's nothing that can come out of the barrel. It's one solid piece of metal inside the barrel, making sure that when you fire it, all the exhaust comes out the top. So if you ever see a movie where someone's shooting and a lot of fire is coming out of the top of the gun, that's a blank gun. Nothing can come out of here, no matter how hard you pull the trigger, how many times you pull the trigger. There's nothing that can load into it. You can't put a real bullet in and accidentally fire it. Nothing will come out. So worst comes to worst, if you pull the trigger on a blank gun, it's going to scare everybody because it's going to go off and be loud. This is a real gun. This is an actual real firearm. If you load this with blanks, it will fire blanks and exhaust will come out of the front and the shells will eject, because that's what the directors want. They want to see muzzle flash and shells ejecting. That's why they don't like the airsofts and the green gas guns, because there's no shell ejecting and there's no fire coming out of the front. This will get you all of that. You can modify the barrel to block some of it, to build up pressure so that the wads don't come out there. When blank fires, something comes out. There's something holding in the wadding, holding in the gunpowder, keeping it from spilling out. You can get crimped ones where nothing comes out. Those are what we use in the blank guns. And those will give you just an explosion. With most blank rounds loaded into real guns, something still comes out of the barrel. A good 10, 15, 20 feet of wadding will shoot out and hit whatever's in front. That's why even when you're pointing a blank gun at a camera, there's still going to be something protecting the camera to make sure that whatever comes out of the gun doesn't hit it, because those cameras are incredibly expensive. So blank fire in a real gun is a blank round in here. You can also modify these with different uppers. You can use universal training munitions or UTMs, which replace the entire upper and barrel to make sure that you can never accidentally load a real round. You can do all sorts of crazy things, but this is still a real gun, and if it's on a movie set, there's always going to be a danger. Best case scenario, when you pull the trigger, nothing's going to happen, because we're going to check, we're going to make sure the magazine's empty, then we're going to make sure that the slide is open and there's nothing in the chamber and everything is perfectly safe. That's how you know that it's empty. Anything else, you're risking, if you pull the trigger, best case scenario, nothing happens. Look, I dry fired it, which is bad. It's bad for the gun to dry fire. You shouldn't do that. Worst case scenario, there's a blank in there and it makes everybody jump and maybe the wadding might hit something and cause damage. If somebody's close up and hits them, it can cause real damage. That wadding comes out with force and it could hurt. Worst case scenario, a live round is loaded in and it fires. That's why you never point at anything. Even if you're pointing it at the camera, there's going to be protection on the camera just in case something comes out. If you're pointing it at other people, they're going to be, you're really not pointing it directly at them. You're going to be pointing off to the side of them. So these are the most dangerous things to have on a set. They're the worst things to have on a set. They shouldn't be used on a set when we have all these other options available, but that's the difference. So when someone says, oh, it was a prop gun that misfired, it's not. It was a real gun that functioned the way a real gun is supposed to when you load a real round in and pull the trigger. These are prop guns. If you pull the trigger, nothing happens. Airsoft, if you pull the trigger, but nothing comes out of the barrel at all, and then they're going to die out from gas. That is the way it works. Blankfire guns, nothing comes out of the barrel because the barrels are plugged. And real guns loaded with blanks are still real guns loaded with blanks. That's your lesson for today.